Hey, Brook Scholars, welcome back to Remote Learning with me, Mr. Scott. How you doing? How was your weekend? Was it good? Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Mine too. Why the waffles? Well, firstly, I've just finished breakfast, but also we've got a wonderful new story that we're going to be reading today, all about waffles. That's right, waffles. Wow, you like waffles? The great thing about waffles, similar to pizza, waffles are a kind of food where you get to add toppings. What are your favorite things to put on waffles? What do you like? Mmm, mmm. Ooh, yeah. Sounds delicious. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do this week. It's going to be a little bit different. Instead of doing three readings, we're just going to have one longer reading. Now, we're still going to do all the wonderful work that we've been thinking about, reading carefully, stopping and thinking, finding evidence to support our answers. We're going to do all of that jazz, absolutely, because that's what great readers do. Let's get started right away with today's story. Let me just move me over here. There we go. Just traveling a little bit. Don't mind me. Oh dear, hang on. No, that's way too big. There we go. All right, here we go. Read the selection and choose the best answer to each question. Frank Pearl in The Awful Waffle Kerfuffle, which is a great title, by Megan MacDonald. Frank pointed to the poster in the school uniform. Sorry, hang on. Let me get this thing going on. There we go. Sorry. Frank pointed to the poster in the school lunchroom. His mouth fell open. A glob of sandwich fell out. Gross, said Judy Moody and Jessica Finch. Gross, said Amy and Rocky. The Great Third Grade Breakfast Bash and Waffle Off, this Saturday in the school cafeteria. Families welcome. Prizes for best waffles. Proceeds go to third grade field trip. Look, it's the great third grade breakfast bash. We get to come to the cafeteria on Saturday with our families and eat breakfast. What's so great about breakfast? Asked Rocky. It's only the most important meal of the day, Jessica Finch said. Breakfast tastes like pencil shavings, said Rocky. But this year it's a waffle off, said Frank, to raise money for our third grade field trip. So we can go to the smelly jelly bean factory, said Judy, where they make weird flavors of jelly beans like toothpaste and rotten eggs. What's a waffle off? Asked Amy. The waffle off is the best contest ever, said Frank. It's to see who can make the best, most amazing waffle. They give out blue ribbons for all kinds of waffles, said Jessica. Like most blueberries, whipped creamiest, and best use of sprinkles. I'm going to win, said Frank. I can feel it. Are you off your waffle, Frank? Asked Judy. You can't even cook, Rocky said. Can you? Parents make the waffles, Jessica told them. All you have to do is to dress up your waffle fancy with whipped cream and sprinkles and stuff. Then Mr. Todd gives out ribbons before they get eaten. Frank and his friends got quiet, dreaming about waffles. I've got a great idea for my waffle, said Frank. Is your waffle a sandwich? Judy asked. Mine is going to be a whipped cream sandwich. Does your waffle play sports? Rocky asked. Mine is going to play sports, and it's not going to taste like pencil shavings. My idea snap, crackle, pops. My idea will blow your mind. Just you wait. At last it was Saturday. Welcome to the great third grade breakfast bash, said Mr. Todd. Thanks for coming to our waffle off. I hope you're all ready to break an egg. Everybody laughed. Something like that. Ready, set, waffle! Moms and dads poured batter onto sizzling waffle irons. Psh! Fluffy, puffy golden waffles. Frank had hidden his top secret waffle under a cake dome. Ta-da! Said Frank. Presenting, he lifted the lid, the super amazing exploding volcano waffle. hill, a mountain, a tower of brown jelly beans rose up from that waffle like a volcano. Marshmallow fluff spewed from a hole in the top. Pop, pop, fizz, fizz. Fizzlers, whizzlers, and sizzlers popped and exploded like lava. Wait till Mr. Todd sees this, said Frank. Blue ribbon, here I come. Then all of a sudden, the fizzlers fizzled and the whizzlers melted into the sizzlers. Rainbow-colored lava oozed down the jelly bean mountain. Plop! The glop hit the floor in one giant gloppy glop of gloop. Oh, gross! Said all of the kids. What's all this waffle kerfluffle? Asked Mr. Todd. It's Frank's super amazing exploding waffle, said Judy. Super amazing disaster waffle, said Frank. It was supposed to be an exploding volcano, but the jelly beans caved in and all the pop rocks ran together. Now it looks like a giant mud pie. He ran to grab a towel from the kitchen. On his way, he passed the prize table full of ribbons, shiny blue ribbons that called out, Most, Best, Biggest, Fanciest. He would never win the contest now. He would no way, no how be taking home a ribbon. When he came back with the towel, Frank could not believe his eyes. There, gleaming in a beam of sunlight, was none other than one of those very same blue, shiny, big blue. Ah! Let me try that again. There, gleaming in a beam of sunlight, was none other than one of those very same big, shiny blue prize ribbons. The ribbon was on his waffle. Frank leaned in and read the button. One of a kind. I won? I actually won a contest? With a real blue ribbon? He looked at Mr. Todd. Your waffle is in a class by itself, Frank. Frank stuck the blue ribbon on his shirt and grinned. It's a one of a kind, said Mr. Todd. Just like you. Ah, that's great. Now, before we get to answering these questions, I think it's quite important that we stop and think. Remember, these are longer texts, and this one in particular is most certainly a fiction text. It tells the story of Frank. But let me stop and think. Let me retell this story, and I want to make sure that I include a lot of information here about character feelings. There are some big character feelings in this story, and as we know, the character feelings change based on what's happening in the story. All right. So we're going to take it right from the top and let's see. So in this fiction story, we have Frank, and Frank is at school. That's where the story takes place. And in the beginning, Frank is feeling very, very excited. Frank's feeling very excited because there is going to be the great third grade breakfast bash, and waffle off. So he's very excited to enter this contest, and he's kind of coming up with a new idea. And his friends aren't really supportive of Frank. They seem to think that he's not going to be able to win the contest and win one of the blue ribbons that he so desperately wants. So they each decide what kind of idea they're going to come up with for their waffles, and then it's Saturday. So it's a couple days later, and Frank is really excited, and he's prepared this very special waffle design. It's his super exciting volcano waffle. That's his design. That's his idea, and he presents it in a very dramatic way. Ta-da! And he shows it to everyone. And at first, it looks really good. It has lots of jelly beans that are stacked up into kind of a mountain like this. But then everything goes bad. This is the problem of the story, is that Frank's design actually falls apart and it gets all gloopy and a big mess, and it flops on the floor, and then all the kids see it and they go, ah, gross, that's so nasty. And Frank feels so disappointed. And then he runs to the bathroom to get a towel to clean up the mess that was his volcano waffle. And while he's doing that, he passes by the table and he looks at the one thing that he wants more than anything else in the world. He sees the blue ribbons. and he thinks, oh, this is so terrible, and he's feeling really sad, really, really down in the dumps about this because, of course, now his idea is all over the floor and he's convinced that he won't win. So he goes back, and there, sitting beside his what's left of his waffle, is one of the blue ribbons, and he won. And he won the one of a kind ribbon because Frank had a great idea, and the idea was one of a kind. And then Mr. Todd says something very, very nice and says, just like you, Frank, you are one of a kind. You're special. You're an individual. You are unique. And so Mr. Todd does celebrate the hard work and thinking that went into the design for Frank. And Frank is feeling really, really excited about this because he won one of the blue ribbons. Very good. Very good. Lots of character feelings. Now, did you notice the dialogue in this story? Almost all of this dialogue was characters talking back and forth to one another. Wow. Let's get started on these questions and see what's what, shall we? Read these sentences from paragraph 25. Now, you should know something about me. As a reader, I get really excited when they tell you where to go to find your evidence. It says that it's from paragraph 25, so that makes it easy for us to go back and know exactly where this particular sentence is. However, it's not just this sentence that's going to help us figure out whether it's A, B, C, or D. We're going to have to go back. We're going to have to read a little bit before paragraph 25 and after 25. The reason we're doing that is so that we can remember what was happening at that point in the story. What were the characters doing? Had the problem already taken place? It says, pop, pop, fizz, fizz, fizzlers, whizzlers, and sizzlers popped and exploded like lava. Back we go to 25. Oh no, well, let's read the question first. Sorry. The imagery in these sentences appeals most to the reader's sense of taste, smell, sound, or touch. Okay, so let's go back to 25 and find out what was happening. This is 24. This is the paragraph before it. Frank had hidden his top secret waffle under a cake dome. Ta-da! Said Frank, presenting. He lifted the lid. The super amazing exploding volcano waffle. A hill, a mountain, a tower of brown jelly beans rose up from that waffle like a volcano. Marshmallow fluff spewed from a hole in the top. Pop, pop, fizz, fizz, fizzlers, whizzlers, and sizzlers popped and exploded like lava. Wait till Mr. Todd sees this, said Frank. Blue ribbon, here I come. And then it goes on. Then all of a sudden the fizzlers fizzled in the. Okay, so 27 is where the problem in the story actually takes place. This is a little bit before that happens, when Frank is still most excited about finally presenting his waffle idea. So let's come back over here now that we've thought about this. It says the imagery in these sentences most appeals to the reader's sense of pop, pop, fizz, fizz, fizzlers, whizzlers, and sizzlers popped and exploded like lava. So does this help us better understand the taste, the smell, the sound, or the touch? What do you think, friends? Yes, I agree with you. It's all about the sound here. The sound, pop, pop, fizz, fizzlers, whizzlers, sizzlers, all of these different sounds. It reminds me of this sound. Hang on. Can you hear that? Or even this sound. Wasn't very loud. But popping and fizzing and whizzing, all of these sounds. All right, excellent work. Let's mosey on over to number 2 now. See what's what. Question number 2. How is paragraph 27 important to the story's plot? It provides details about Frank's problem. It describes the setting. It gives clues about Frank's feelings. It shows how the problem is solved. Back we go to 27. Let's see what it says. It says, 27. And all of a sudden, the fizzlers fizzled and the whizzlers melted into the sizzlers. Rainbow colored lava oozed down the jelly bean mountain. Plop! The glop hit the floor in one giant gloppy glop of gloop. Wow, try saying that 3 times fast. Gloppy glob of gloop. Gloppy glob of gloop. Gloppy glob of gloop. Gloppy gloop. Stuck in your mouth. Okay, so what's happening at this point, of course? Well, Frank is watching his wonderful, his amazing design fall to pieces. And so What is the answer? It provides details about Frank's problem, it describes the setting, it gives clues about Frank's feelings, or it shows how the problem is solved. What do you think the answer is? Right, it's all about Frank's problem. Yes, indeed. He was so excited about his design, and then no, it's fallen to pieces. It's just a bad mess on the floor. Question number 3, it says the following. Read this sentence from paragraph 32. He would no way, no how be taking home a ribbon. This sentence helps the reader know that Frank feels afraid, confused, tired, or hopeless. Well, what was happening at that point in our story? That's the question I have for you. 32. He ran to grab a towel from the kitchen. Oh, this is after it fell to pieces. On his way, he passed the prize table full of ribbons, shiny blue ribbons that called out most, best, biggest, fanciest. He would never win the contest now. He would no way, no how be taking home a ribbon. Oh, so this was the lowest point in the story for Frank, right? But how is he feeling at this point? Is he afraid? Is he confused? Is he tired? Or is he hopeless? Which one is the right answer? Go ahead. Think about it. What do you think? Yep, it's D. It's hopeless. Poor Frank. At this point in the story, this is before he won the ribbon, but it's after the thing fell to pieces. He feels like he doesn't have any hope left. Don't worry, Frank, it gets better. All right, question number 4. Which word is an antonym? Oh, antonym. We are experts on antonyms and synonyms at this point. Antonym, what does that mean? Does it mean the same? What does it mean different? Tell me. Different. You got it. So, which word is different? Which word has a different meaning than the word fancy in paragraph 6? Sorry, 16. So let's go back to 16. Whoa, pretty far back. This is almost to the beginning of the story here. 16. Parents make the waffles, Jessica told them. All you have to do is dress up your waffle fancy with whipped cream and sprinkles and stuff. Then Mr. Todd gives out ribbons before they get eaten. Oh, okay. So this is right in the beginning. It's before Saturday, before the competition actually takes place. And Jessica is explaining to everyone else who's looking at this poster on the wall in school that the parents make the waffles and then the kids get to add things to the waffles to make their designs. Okay. So back to our question. Question 4. Which word is an antonym of fancy in paragraph 16? Is it sour, plain, small, or quick? What do you think? Hmm? Sounded like Yoda for a bit, didn't it? Um, Answer the question. Okay. Sour, plain, small, or quick? The answer is yes, plain. Exactly. Plain, ordinary, regular, average, normal. Plain. Plain is the opposite of fancy. So fancy. Okay. Question number 5. In paragraph 24, I love what they it's so good. In paragraph 24, what is the most likely reason Frank hides his waffle? He does not want other kids to touch his waffle. He feels embarrassed about how his waffle looks. He does not want anyone to take his waffle. He hopes to surprise everyone when he presents his waffle. Hiding. Do you remember that part when he was hiding his waffle? I better go back to 24 and figure this out. Paragraph 24. Frank had hidden his top secret waffle under a cake dome. Ta-da! Said Frank. Presenting, he lifted the lid. The super amazing exploding volcano waffle. A hill, a mountain, a tower of brown jelly beans rose up from that waffle like a volcano. Wow. Okay. Holy moly. So what was happening here? So he was hiding it. Why was he hiding it? Hiding it under the cake top. Okay. Here are the options again. He does not want other kids to touch his waffle. He feels embarrassed about how his waffle looks. He does not want anyone to take his waffle. He hopes to surprise everyone when he presents his waffle. Choose your answer, friends. What's the answer? He hopes to surprise everyone. When you say ta-da, you are presenting something. It's kind of like a fanfare. You want people to notice. So yes, he's hoping to surprise everyone with this incredible volcano waffle design that he's come up with. Very good. Question number 6 says, why is Frank surprised when he sees the blue ribbon on his waffle? He forgets to follow the rules of the contest. He thinks his waffle looks too bad to earn a ribbon. He believes that Mr. Todd needs more time to pick the winners, or he has never received a ribbon from Mr. Todd before. Now, Frank is surprised when he sees the blue ribbon. Let's come back up to that point in the story. Think about what was going on. When he came back with the towel, Frank could not believe his eyes. There, gleaming in a beam of sunlight, was none other than one of those same big, shiny blue prize ribbons. The ribbon was on his waffle. Frank leaned in and read the ribbon. One of a kind. I won? I actually won a contest with a real blue ribbon? He looked at Mr. Todd. Okay, so that's what's happening in the story there. He's surprised. But why is he feeling surprised? He's feeling surprised because Because. He forgets to follow the rules of the contest. He thinks his waffle looks too bad to earn a ribbon. He believes that Mr. Todd needs more time to pick the winners. He's never received a ribbon from Mr. Todd before. What do you think is the right answer?
Tell me. Tell me now. What do you think it is?
It's B. Oh, can it really be B? B. Buzz. That sounds more like brushing your teeth with an electric toothbrush. Anywho, he thinks his waffle looks too bad to earn a ribbon. He is completely without hope at this point. He's running to try and clean up the mess that is now on the floor because of this exploding volcano waffle. And he just can't actually believe that he won because, what's left of his waffle does not look very good at all. No. But he did win. Congratulations. Question 7. What do paragraphs 13 through 15 show about Frank's classmates? Now, there were lots of characters in this story, right? With Judy and Rocky and everyone. What do paragraphs 13 through 15 show about Frank's classmates? They wish they knew more about Frank. They do not think Frank will win the contest. They wish that Frank would stop talking about waffles. They want to keep Frank from entering the contest. 13 through 15. Here we go. Back the way. All right. There's 3 sentences here. 3. It's all dialogue. 2 characters using their words. I know because I see those quotation marks, right? I'm gonna win, said Frank. I can feel it. Are you off your waffle, Frank? Asked Judy. You can't even cook, Rocky said. Can you? Well, what do we think? Let's go back to question 6. So it's question 7. Oh boy, what's happening here? Screen's gone crazy! Okay, paragraphs 13 through 15. What do they show about Frank's classmates? They wish they knew more about Frank. They do not think Frank will win the contest. They wish that Frank would stop talking about waffles, or they want to keep Frank from entering the contest. What do you think? What's the right answer? Yep, they do not think Frank is going to win that contest. They're like, what are you? You don't know how to cook. You don't know what you're doing, Frank. You should not enter. No, 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 no. You're not gonna win. How does Frank feel at the beginning of the story? Beginning of the story. Okay, what's happening at the beginning of the story? Frank pointed to the poster in the school lunchroom. His mouth fell open. A glob of sandwich fell out. Wow. Okay. So, how is Frank feeling at the beginning of the story? Let's have a little look skis. He's excited about the contest. He is amused by his friends. He is confused about the rules of the contest. He is concerned about what type of waffle to make. What do you think the right answer is? He's excited. Of course, he's excited. He thinks it's going to be an absolutely amazing opportunity for him to wow his friends with an incredible design. Very good. Finally, we come now to question 9. Why does Frank become upset about the waffle contest? He realizes that parents will make the waffles. He hears his classmates share ideas for their waffles. His waffle display begins to fall apart. Or his waffle idea has been kept secret for too long. When did he become upset? He was excited. Then over here, the look on his face tells me that he was really unpleasantly surprised. But when was he upset? Oh, look at this. Paragraph 31. Super amazing disaster waffle, said Frank. It was supposed to be an exploding volcano. But the jelly beans caved in and the pop rocks ran together. Now it just looks like a giant mud pie. At this point, the damage is done with the waffle, and Frank is not very happy. He's quite upset. So, is it that he's upset because he realizes that parents will make the waffles, or he's upset because he hears his classmates share ideas for their waffles, or his waffle display begins to fall apart, or his waffle idea has been kept secret for too long? What do you think? It's C. I hope you can see that. Yes, indeed. His waffle display starts to fall apart. And of course, he gets really, really upset about this. Poor Frank. But don't worry, Frank. Mr. Todd's going to give you a great ribbon at the end. Well, that's it from me, my friends. Well done doing all of that hard work on your reading. Give yourself a great big hug. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you back here with me, Mr. Scott, the ultimate champion, on the world's greatest YouTube channel. I'll see you tomorrow, friends. From Mr. Scott. If I can get it to work. From Mr. Scott, bye!